Tonight on Cronkite News. Tonight on Cronkite News, President Joe Biden unveils a controversial policy offering protection to thousands of undocumented immigrants who are married to U.S. citizens.
Plus, the campaigns for both President Biden and former President Trump are in full swing here in Arizona. How each side plans to win this purple state.
And scouting the next star, ASU women's hockey hosts prospect camp once again here in the Valley. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Taylor Mazok.
And I'm Iman Abraham. Thank you for joining us.
A new policy will protect undocumented husbands, wives, and children from deportation and provide work permits.
Aoife Kane tells us about the plan announced by President Biden that aims to make life easier for spouses and children of U.S. citizens.
According to the White House, these eligible non-citizens have lived in the United States on average for 23 years. Under the new policy, they will be able to apply for lawful permanent residency without having to leave the U.S.
So today I'm announcing new measures to clarify and speed up work visas to help people, including dreamers, who have graduated from U.S. colleges and universities, landed jobs in high-demand, high-skilled professions that we need to have grow to see our economy grow.
The new protections will impact about 500,000 people who've been living in the United States for at least 10 years and who are married to U.S. citizens.
People like Alejandro Paz Medrano, who is married to a U.S. citizen.
We know that each day is a risk. It's so torturous to discuss that we just don't discuss it. Instead, we take each day as it comes with uncertainty, with whatever that day brings, not knowing if it'll be our last day together.
Rudy Malera was at the White House to show his support for the new policy.
But it's something that needs to be done. These people are here and they're working hard. They're taxpayers. They're getting an education. They're providing and they're providing for our country.
For DACA recipients who have studied at an American university and receive a job offer, this announcement means the process of obtaining a work visa just got easier as well.
And this is a groundbreaking move that will allow many, including myself, the ability to overcome the barrier of broken immigration systems that prevent us from obtaining the protecting of status.
In Washington, Aoife Kane, Cronkite News.
The announcement comes on the 12th anniversary of Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, which protects young people who came to the United States without permission. It's been 2 weeks since the president announced a crackdown on asylum seekers at the southern border.
An advisor to former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to an election interference case here in Arizona. Boris Epstein appeared via telephone on Tuesday. He is accused of trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Two others, Jenna Ellis and James Lamont, also entered a plea today through their lawyers. More than a dozen people have charged in the alleged scheme.
Is only getting closer, and that means Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are narrowing in on their voters, especially in purple states like Arizona. Cronkite reporter Regan Gallo explains that campaigns are everywhere you look, tap, or touch.
It may not be a typical bingo game, but the Seniors for Biden bingo is one way the Biden-Harris campaign is making a splash within the retired community.
I love the concept because just sitting at my table today, I met people I had no idea were invested in helping to re-elect Joe Biden. And now I have new friends.
Players won prizes, socialized, and were pleased with the attention from the Biden-Harris campaign.
That means there's interest in our generation.
So it is really interesting. The bingo game just ended and everyone was headed out the door, and everyone talked about that the difference between a big rally compared to something like this is the one-on-one relationship building that they get to do at a smaller event like this.
Like Biden, Trump is also reaching out to specific demographic groups. Trump just relaunched Latino Americans for Trump and Black Americans for Trump.
43% of the people who live in Phoenix are Hispanic, and I believe about 45% in Tucson. So this is a huge voting bloc.
Martinez says look for family events geared towards Hispanics in communities across Arizona.
Out to the the adult voters, but also to the youngsters, because we've got to start them early for them to understand that this is something that they should be engaged in.
And let's not forget social media. President Joe Biden has been on TikTok to reach the younger audiences. And recently, Trump started his own TikTok account, searching for likes, clicks, and campaign analytics within very specific groups is a newer concept.
2000s, early 2000s, and later, that's really when it really ramped up in terms of campaigns hiring statisticians and psychometricians that really do analysis on the ability to use campaigns to target certain populations and certain demographics.
Rouse notes that certain groups of voters need a lot more targeted engagement in order to get them to decide on their candidate. That's why you may see these campaigns at your next barbecue cookout. In Phoenix, Regan Gallo, Cronkite News.
President Biden currently has 380,000 followers on TikTok in comparison to Trump, who just launched his TikTok account after the hush money verdict with 6.4 million followers.
The Coconino National Forest is implementing Stage 2 fire restrictions beginning this Friday. Because of hot and windy conditions, that means starting or maintaining a fire is prohibited in the forest. Smoking outside is also prohibited. Meanwhile, the Army Corps of Engineers will fund a new flood project in Arizona. After the museum fire damaged the area in 2019, the fire burned 2,000 acres and is still affecting rainwater runoff. The new project will help absorb that runoff water.
Juneteenth became a federally recognized holiday in 2021, and since then, celebrations have grown to include everything from art, poetry, and athletic competitions. Cronkite News reporter Ashley Sinclair went to an event in Tempe and has more information on the holiday's festivities.
Tempe streets were turned into a big roller rink, just one part of Juneteenth celebrations across Arizona.
All of the celebrations are frankly phenomenal, and we're glad that we are celebrating Juneteenth as a state and as a country. I think it really is critically important for all of us to know our history.
The holiday commemorates the day on June 19, 1865, when enslaved African Americans in Texas found out they were free, a full 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. In Tempe, the city celebrated with food vendors, dance competitions, and more. While this holiday is not recognized as a state holiday in Arizona, cities across the state do recognize it, including Tempe, whose celebration gets bigger and bigger.
Well, the city of Tempe has been doing a Juneteenth event for the last 3 years, but this event has been around for over 100 years. I mean, we've been celebrating Juneteenth, but now it's officially a holiday, and Tempe has, embraced it, and we want people to know about our culture.
And Tempe isn't the only one celebrating. The city of Queen Creek, Chandler, and even the Phoenix Mercury celebrated in their own way. The celebration continued into the night with a dance competition that had hundreds surrounding the dancers. Former Arizona State Representative Jevin D. Hodge says another reason why celebrating Juneteenth is so special is because of its inclusivity and availability.
No matter where you are in Maricopa County, we're Arizona right now, you have access to a Juneteenth event. And that's what's most important, right? You can go somewhere, no matter where you are, what zip code you're in, and celebrate.
In Tempe, Ashley Sinclair, Cronkite News.
Because it's an official holiday in several cities, the city services in those areas will be closed on June 19th. Be sure to check out online for closures. And if you want to celebrate the holiday at a national park, attractions like the Grand Canyon are waiving entry fees on the 19th. Coming up next, NIL, or name, image, likeness, has changed the game, not to mention the pocketbooks of many student athletes across the country.
But not every athlete is benefiting from the policy.
Of course, we're in their country competing and stuff, but I would definitely love to see that international students could kind of earn a little bit of money.
Coming up after the break, meet the international students left out of NIL and what politicians hope to do about it.
Plus, it's been pretty warm across the valley over the last few days, but a warm up, if you can believe it, is on the way. Your forecast is up next.
3, 2, 1.
Coming up on the cut.
Coming up on the cut. Coming up on the cut.
How students can build their broadcast journalism portfolio with opportunities to learn more about on-air reporting and studio production.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at @thecut_network and on X @CutASU.
Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The NCAA is currently settling a $2.7 billion class action suit that will pay former and current college athletes. The rush of money into college sports is blurring the lines between amateurism and professionalism, and some college athletes have been left out. Aoife Kane looks at how international athletes are at a financial disadvantage.
In the multi-billion-dollar industry of college sports, there's one group of athletes who currently do not benefit from NIL. International students can only earn passive income due to visa restrictions. They make up about 1 in 8 Division I college athletes, but can't benefit from most NIL opportunities in what has become a lucrative industry for their peers. Over the last year, the issue has been discussed by lawmakers in Washington.
It is a $16 billion or more industry that is fueled by the blood, sweat, and tears of these athletes.
In October, Senators Ricketts and Blumenthal proposed a bill that would allow international student athletes to earn money through their name, image, and likeness. House members filed a similar bill in April.
International student athletes represent about 12% of Division I athletes. Currently, a lot of these students are on what you call an F1 visa.
At Arizona State University, about 1 in 7 student athletes hail from outside the US. Competing on the women's golf team, Beth Coulter is on an F1 visa from Ireland.
I feel like it's a disadvantage for international students. Of course, we're in their country competing and stuff, but I would definitely love to see that international students could kind of earn a little bit of money or kind of not be as disadvantaged in that aspect.
Roy Gannat from Israel plays tennis at ASU and says earning NIL money would allow him to travel to compete in tournaments across the country as he attempts to turn pro.
Yeah, it would make life way easier, and then in tennis we don't get too much money from tournaments, and it's a very expensive sport too.
The NCAA told Cronkite News it supports change so international student athletes can benefit from NIL. But movement in Congress is unlikely in an election year, according to college sports attorney Greg Clifton.
We've had numerous bills introduced under NIL. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. But right now, the question is, are we going to make a specific exception under the immigration laws and under this F1 visa for student athletes?
Modification to the F1 visa could undermine its origin, a visa to study abroad.
Because now it becomes more of a work visa as opposed to a student visa. So there would definitely be some interesting aspects of that people who practice immigration law are going to have a lot of fun with.
I spoke with Senator Ricketts about his bill to amend the F1 visa. He said that he doesn't want young, talented athletes to be disincentivized from coming to the United States and that the bill levels the playing field. But for now, international students will continue to be restricted in NIL deals. In Washington, Aoife Kane, Cronkite News.
The Department of Homeland Security told Cronkite News that it's actively discussing international student athlete compensation through NIL.
Now to the weather. It's been hot, hot, hot the last few weeks, but it's about to get even hotter. Joseph Furtado joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center with what we can expect.
Thank you guys so much. Let's take a look what we got going on here on our Tuesday evening planner
right around 6 p.m., we're still going to be on those triple digits, and we'll start to cool off as we continue to progress on through the rest of the evening. Right around 8 p.m., we'll drop to those double digits at 99 degrees. But if you really want to get outside, 10 p.m. is probably going to be the chance to do it at a cool 94 degrees. But let's see what we got going on here for tomorrow in those low temperatures. How about Grand Canyon all the way up here? The coldest place on the map at 43 degrees. But Phoenix, our low, 82 degrees. But now we can look at some of those higher temperatures for tomorrow because we are in the middle of June and it's only going to continue to get hotter as we progress on through the rest of the summer months. 106 in Phoenix. But the coolest place you probably want to be on the map is up here in Flagstaff at a cooler 81 degrees compared to everywhere else. Now we are in an excessive heat warning that's going to kick off from Thursday to Friday. Now we'll look at the futurecast for tomorrow. From Thursday and Friday, getting a little activity across here in Texas, some drizzle. Now we're getting some activity out here from the Gulf of Mexico, pushing up into the rest of the United States. We did hit hurricane season earlier this month. Now we can look at the 8-day forecast, though, here for tomorrow. Wednesday is going to be 106, but it's only going to continue to get hotter through the rest of the weekend. Let's take a look, though, at those numbers. 113 on Friday, but it'll start to cool off as we continue to progress on through the rest of the weekend into early next week. But that's going to do it here for our Cronkite Weather Report. I'm Joseph Furtado. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up next, if you're wanting to tee off and avoid the heat, One Valley Golf Course might have a solution.
Not to mention a drink after a long day at work. The Tempe-located golf course offers golf and entertainment at a later hour. Find out more on how this course is capitalizing on being open after dark.
Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
At Cronkite News, learn to work behind the camera for studio production. Our students spend time learning the ins and outs of all that it takes to run a newscast. From setting up the studio to building exciting graphics, studio production provides a job for everyone. Whether it be running audio, technical directing, or directing the newscast, students can experience the action behind the scenes. Join our team today.
Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Rachel Masson. It is camp season for high school football athletes, and Arizona State has gotten in the mix by hosting camps of their own, including the Southwest Showcase. High school athletes battled it out at ASU's football practice facilities, where they competed in drills with one objective in mind: impress college coaches and secure a scholarship to play at the next level. Both players and coaches acknowledge just how important these mega camps can be.
Just to meet a bunch of coaches, get your face to their name, and just get out there and throw for them, especially if you talk to them before the camp so they know you're coming up here. That's a good way to get noticed, and they can talk to you before and after, so definitely some good feedback for sure.
The mega camps are good. I like getting people on campus. Next year we're probably going to do more camps here and less camps off campus, and get kids on campus, get kids around the team, all of the coaches, the players, just get them to feel the vibe around here.
With the 2026 recruiting class having just opened up, Kenny Dillingham will look to bolster his roster and add some more quality to the team. Now to another summer camp, as ASU women's hockey hosted their annual prospect camp at Mullet Arena over the weekend, allowing players to see what it's like to play for the team. With the new hockey season on the horizon, the team's annual prospect camp gave players from 9th grade through college a first-hand look at what it's like to play for one of the best collegiate women's hockey clubs in the ACHA. The 3-day camp consisted of 4 ice sessions, a campus tour, and informational sessions to learn more about the program. The camp roster featured 4 goaltenders and 40 skaters and sells out each year as players seek this invaluable opportunity.
Our prospect camp is an opportunity for girls to sign up in order for us to see them skate in front of us, for them to see campus and really just get a feel for what ASU women's hockey is like. And we have 16 different states and 3 different provinces, so there's girls from literally all over at this camp.
The prospect camp's great for us to be able to see how much of an interest that we have for ASU women's hockey. This is a full camp, as you can see, and that just shows that we have a lot of interest.
The Sun Devils have 11 new commits that will be joining the team at the start of the 2024-25 season. Another college here in the Valley was awarded the WAC Commissioner's Cup for a 4th consecutive year. GCU is the only program to win 4 Commissioner's Cups. During the 2023-24 school year, the Lopes won 12 conference championships. The school won NCAA tournament games in men's basketball, baseball, and volleyball for the first time. GCU claimed both regular season and postseason championships in 9 of 20 sports, giving the university a winning score of roughly 159 points. GCU will play one last year in the WAC before moving to the West Coast Conference in 2025. Arizona golfers who are looking to beat the heat this summer can start golfing at night. With a fully lit course and balls that glow, players can now tee off under the stars. Iman Abraham has more on the new nocturnal pastime.
Grass Clippings Rolling Hills Golf Course is introducing a new way to play the game at night, with fun practice facilities, bars, restaurants, and even live music available.
It's been really such a cool experience for the simple fact, right, of just being able to come off of work, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock p.m. We still want to come get some swings in and didn't have an opportunity to do that before. Located in Tempe, Grass Clippings is the first golf course in Arizona to provide night golf, a fully lit 18-hole par 3 course that is open until 1 a.m. Perfect for golfers that want to still catch some holes after the sun goes down.
The goal is everyone should just come and feel welcomed at the same time, whether you're good, bad, or just getting into it. And that's really our goal and our dream for this is just continue to grow the game of golf.
This new era of golf has local golfers excited about being able to beat the heat and enjoy the game at night.
You got to be in the right market with the weather, population, everything. And Phoenix is the perfect location for that. So
Grass Clippings is not only making golf fun, but they are making it more accessible for everyone to enjoy the game under the lights. In Phoenix, Iman Abraham, Cronkite News.
The owners at Grass Clippings say they have novice players to pros coming out at night, as PGA Tour player Max Homa has even teed it up there under the lights. That's it for tonight's Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Rachel Masson. Now back to Taylor and Iman.
Thanks, Rachel. Coming up after this quick break, a consumer alert.
That's right. A next order of chips and guac could be expensive. Find out why there could soon be an avocado shortage when we return.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience.
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage.
To sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
If you're a fan of guacamole or avocado toast, this story is for you.
That's because there could be soon an avocado shortage. And here's the reason. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has actually suspended the inspection of avocados in Mexico. The agency says it's worried about the safety of workers. But that's about as much as we know about the suspension. All this means the supply of avocados here in the U.S. could be impacted, which could also mean higher prices at the grocery store and at your favorite restaurant. And finally tonight, NASA's Voyager 1 space probe is finally back online after months of repairs.
That's right. The Voyager has resumed sending info back to planet Earth from 15 billion miles away. Voyager has been sending back bad data late last year, and it took engineers months to figure out how to fix it. But now everything is back on track. Voyager 1 was launched in 1977 and travels about 1 million miles per day.
That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Taylor Mazak.
And I'm Iman Abraham. Thank you for joining us.
And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.